This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the new Prologue EV, there's a lot that could impress you about it. There's the class-leading passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Where are they playing? At the other side of the state?
No, they are playing the Cardinals here today, and they have a near sellout, and 75% of the crowd is Cardinals fans.
Really?
They love their Cardinals, even though they only send about 2 regulars across the way. They show up. I was talking to a few of them, saying, "What the hell are you people doing here?" They said, "Gotta support the team." I said, "You're supporting the laundry here," but that's they show up, man. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to a Twins guy who sells tickets down here and said, "I wish I had them 5 times this spring."
Really?
Is
the game
best,
over?
Best fan. Oh, God, no. Hasn't even considered it. It's only 3 hours, top of the 8th. I don't know, something. I just closed the curtain here because the game, we just started the show. Twins, I think, must have gotten out of the top of the 8th with a dramatic 5-4 lead. It's dwaddling along here, Joe, on the new baseball speed-up rules.
Well, but spring training games are like that. They want to
early
see
early ones, especially when they use 5-6 pitchers apiece, and they use guys that about 2/3 of the guys don't have names on their uniform right now. So.
Hey, how about getting Lomo, huh?
That's pretty low. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're going to block him, right? Unfollow. Yep.
Block him. Man, I hate that. I got started on this. The Vikings hired a new offensive coordinator named John DeFilippo, right?
Yeah.
DeFilippo.
Yeah.
These idiots started calling him Flip right away.
Yeah.
You don't know him. You never heard of him. You can't call him by a nickname, you jackasses.
Right.
And now we got Lomo.
Yeah. What's
Logan
his name?
Morrison.
Logan Morrison?
Logan Morrison, left-handed hitter, power hitter, one of those strikeout home run guys. And he last year, he'd hit some home runs in his career, but never a big number. And he just became one of those lift the ball, either strike out or hit a home run guy. Yeah. And he had a pretty good year for
He worked on
Tampa.
launch angle.
Very, very intent on launch angle. He hadn't showed up yet. He's somebody told me that his wife had a doctor's appointment or something, so he was going to be a day late. He was just going to go with it. It's nothing special, but I don't think he's going to get here till tomorrow to take his physical, and probably won't be on the field. But the big news here, Sano is going to play in a game Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
It's a little earlier than I thought he was going to, but they said that he would play in the game Wednesday. So
where does Tampa train?
Port Charlotte.
Oh, so he's not coming from Arizona, in other words. He's right up the coast.
Oh, he wasn't signed, though. He was a free agent. He was home someplace. He was one of the guys looking for work. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was, I don't know, if the hitters available, he was, I suppose Moustakas, the third baseman from Kansas City, would be the number one guy still out there, but this guy was probably next. So, right, Reavers? Who else?
Yeah, and with the Martinez signing became official, but between him and Moustakas, they were probably the 2 best bets left on the open market. And I think now with the signing, Pat, correct me if I'm wrong, the cheap pull ads will have the highest payroll in team history, correct? I
believe they are about 115, 116 now. Yeah, so they're over. So I was home today, and I came here early and then headed back home to do some stuff back to the condo. And Derek Wetmore was doing a little hit with the boys in the morning. Mm-hmm. And The Lomo conversation lasts 30 seconds before Judd started complaining about the need for another starting pitcher. I could tell from the one-sided part of the conversation that Judd wanted the cheap Pohlads to go get another pitcher here. So the celebration of signing a 38 home run hitter did not last long with our guy Judley. So,
boy, another 38 home runs would be wonderful.
Yes, Tampa a little easier to hit it down the lines. It's big in center field, kind of like it's a little easier in right field than target field is. But we got the dry cement now, so the ball flies. So
that's true
in the summer. So
in fact, I believe he hit Lomo. I'm talking now. I think he did hit a monstrous shot at target field last year. I forget who he hit it off of, but I do remember that when the Rays were in town.
I think it was my sister.
There were 37 candidates you could choose from. I believe that's how many pitchers they had. It was kind of funny the other day. We were in manager Molitor's office, and they had 17 starters last year. 17 different guys started. And the whole room of reporters ran out, and the manager ran out of steam after about 14. Couldn't remember the last three guys. Somebody came up with Tim Melville. Yes, him. He made one.
Tim Melville.
They were running out of steam trying to come up with who the guys were.
By the way, I never bought the wet cement BS. I'm just not going with it. I just don't buy it.
Well, it's certainly become legendary.
It has.
You know who it comes from?
I don't.
Was it Giambi?
Jason Giambi, whose father, a guy named Giambi, was in the cement business.
Really?
So
Nice.
he knows the cement business.
Mm-hmm.
Giambi knew the cement business.
I'll look it up.
Everybody named Giambi knows
Do wet cement.
I don't know, but and then a lot of people started passing around. Jack Morris and Blyleven, both big believers in the wet cement theory. So
all the more reason then. If Bert's on board, I'm not on board.
You think it might be Beans, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You were down here enjoying this weather, right?
I can't believe the string of weather you're having.
Oh man, today might be the nicest day of them all. Fantastic. Did you get
figures.
Not depressed at all, are you, Joe?
No, I came home to a blizzard.
But you got home, huh? We sent Soupy Campbell from the AP home Saturday night, and I said, "You're never going to make it," but he did. They flew him in, so I'm surprised that the planes were still flying.
It was done by the time I got home.
Okay, but it's 40 degrees, right? So it's
42 right now. It's melting like crazy.
Oh, that's good. Mrs. Racy's home. I hate to see her out there shoveling. So like 40 degrees. It's not one of her strong points. So
no. But you got a guy for that.
Yeah, but he doesn't do the walks. He only does the driveway.
Oh, well, you might have to slip him a little extra.
The walk is pretty small, but I shovel the walk when I can handle the walk. But I don't know if we want her doing that. So
you got one half of the Judd and Mackey team is really a Tiger guy, and Phil has got himself pretty well convinced, based on Tiger finishing 12th, that Tiger's going to win the Masters. I'm not there yet.
Well, neither am I, because I don't think he can keep it in the fairway although it's hard to not keep it in the fairway, but I just don't think he can keep it in the fairway for 4 days, do you?
Well, he's been struggling like crazy, and he's not putting the way he used to.
No. There's just, he's a nice, adequate player now, but he's just one of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
If Luke List, or whatever his name was, could almost win. Tiger can almost win, too, but, not
Did you happen to see the
necessarily.
playoff?
No, but I saw the shot on the 72nd hole that Mr. Thomas made. Did you see that?
Yeah. Fairway metal?
Almost jarred it.
Well, here's my observation, having seen the playoff. They previewed the playoff, the announcers, by saying it's getting dark. It's a race against time. It's getting dark. I never saw two players go at it so slowly in my life. Did they want to not have it then?
Well, the guy in the guy, he would hit, what's his name? List, right?
Luke List.
Luke List. Well, first he hits it right, and then he hits it left, so
right.
It took a while. But they have got to adjust their starting times on Sunday. They got caught in the dark already once for a playoff, and they almost got caught yesterday, especially on that golf course, the way they have to play the last 4 holes. They take forever to hit their shots. So, they got to move everything up a half hour. The old idea that 2 guys were going to play golf in 4 hours and 15 minutes is way off the board. They take 5 easy now, a twosome.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. But they still schedule it. I'll bet you again this year the Masters last tee time is after 2:50 in the afternoon.
Well, that doesn't work.
Which means you finish at 7:15, which means you can play about 2 holes, maybe. If you're lucky. So they gotta. They can't get. They're like baseball players. You can't get them to play faster. You got to start earlier, right?
Justin Thomas wins it on the first playoff hole. And if he hadn't, I think they would have had to stop it because they were running out of
Well,
daylight.
I'm in the same time zone.
Yep.
And it was getting dark.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was. The TV doesn't ever look as dark.
No,
as it
I've
really
told
is.
you 1,000 times. In 1989, when I covered Faldo's playoff victory, it was dark.
Yes.
Dark.
Yes.
But TV opens up that lens, and you get fooled into thinking there's still daylight.
Well, there maybe be the fact that they didn't finish one Sunday playoff, and they almost didn't finish this one. Maybe they'll start teeing it off a little earlier. But TV wants to push you into a little bit of prime time there, get somebody to watch.
Yes, they do. All right, just a moment, please. We're going to be back shortly. Wild or hot, Patrick?
Well, yes, they are. They pulled that one out of the fire last night. When did they get the tire?
About 4 minutes left.
4 minutes left.
Yeah.
Stahl, 30 goals. Man, was he a nice pickup a year ago, huh? People thought he was cooked.
So Thursday they were trailing to New Jersey and won that one. Were they ever trailing to the Rangers?
I don't think so. They beat him 4-1.
And then
That's a nice little. They are the champions of New York. They were given a trophy and everything. It's the only time they go out there, and they went 3-0.
Speaking of the Rangers, Rook, your guy got dealt today.
Did they trade McDonough?
Ryan McDonough got traded to the Tampa
that's gotta be
Rays.
Really?
No, bring him home.
Yeah, well, he gets to win a cup.
Ryan McDonough and JT Miller went to the Lightning. And
How
the
much did they give
They
up?
gave up
Every
quite a
number
bit.
one for the next 6 weeks?
They gave
6
up
years?
their first round pick in 2018 and a conditional pick in 2019. It becomes a first round pick if the Lightning win the cup.
What else did they give up?
They gave up a couple of other pieces too, but that's the big
That's good for Mr. McDonough. So the Rangers are packing it in, huh?
apparently.
Yeah.
well, they're dead last.
And I was gonna say they stunk with McDonough. So
They were
Wow.
supposed to be good this year too, man. That's so it's it's a crazy league, Joe. Crazy league. Now, I have already what was it 2 weeks ago, Reavers? I guaranteed a first round playoff victory.
yes, 2 weeks ago. And
Now
then-
that's looking pretty good.
and last week you declared
That's right. I guaranteed the Gophers would win the national championship. That's not looking so good right now.
How about did you guys see
if they
that?
lose in the first round of the Big Ten playoffs, they might not even make the tournament.
There's a video out there of the Penn State player doing the crybaby eyes to one of the Gophers players in the penalty
Oh,
box.
really?
They both had simultaneous penalties assessed to them.
Oh, good old time taunting hockey. That's what we like,
It was
right?
pretty funny.
The
I
Gophers
thought.
were swept by Penn State.
Pence not only swept Joe on Friday evening, hours after I'd said that they might win the national championship, they gave up 61 shots.
Holy mackerel.
61 shots. Their goalie stood on his head, and they got beat 6-1.
Wow. What's
I can't
wrong?
wait for the hockey half hour on Wednesday to get an answer here on what the hell's going on here.
That's unacceptable.
It's worse than that. It's terrible. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
brutal.
understand it.
I do not.
And then how, well, we all know how bad it is to be without Butler, but do you think he'll be back for the playoffs?
I think there's a chance, yeah.
If they make the playoffs?
Yeah, well.
Was it just a simple tear?
meniscus. That's
They haven't-
just
that's
a
more
tear?
simple than an ACL.
Right. So all they have to do is clean it out.
They haven't told us, Kenny, whether they removed it or if they removed it, then it's a
He ain't
quicker
coming back.
fix.
Oh, think
No,
so?
I think it's a quicker. That's what they said. It's a quicker fix. If you're trying to save it, then it takes a little longer. But well, Andrew Wiggins, who's been getting hell beat out of him all year, is now going to have to be the man. So we'll see how that works out. They got to win 10, I'd say. They got 20 left. They got to win 10. They got to get the 46.
They got to go 500.
Yep, they got to win half.
And they're on the road now. They're at Sacramento, and they stay out there. And,
Portland and Utah, both teams that are trying to catch them.
Sure.
They got to win tonight, and then they got Portland and Utah back-to-back Thursday and Friday. By then, my guy Derrick Rose should be a member of the Timberwolves.
really?
That's your prediction?
Yes.
And do you
No.
favor that?
Yes, I favor it for this reason. All the Wolves fans are whining about getting Derrick Rose, so I'd like to have him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hell of a player in his day, but his knee's shot. But he's looking for a job, and Tibbs loves him from the Bulls days, and they need a guard. They need a big guard now.
Well, how good can he be if his knee's shot?
Well, yeah, you just put a little ice on it and go get him. You can do what Tony Oliva used to do: put brake fluid on it.
Oh, God.
I remember Tony's bad knee that was about 4 times bigger than it should have been. Had been operated on. And I remember once he'd always have these people that send him in with cures, and so he'd go. And I remember one day he's sitting there putting brake fluid on it, and Stevie Braun came by and said, "Tony, we don't need something to get you stopped. We need something to get you started."
Right. Boom.
And Tony told him to go to, in his best Spanish, told him to climb a rope. So,
Right.
anyway.
I never heard the brake fluid one. I don't know what they think that'd do for you.
Well, he had no feeling in the knee except when he tried to move on it. Then
Yeah.
it was, you saw him in 74, 75. He
Yeah.
played on one leg.
Right.
So,
That's a shame because today they would have fixed him up just fine.
oh yeah, he would have had arthroscopic surgery. He ended up having 8 surgeries, but each time they'd open it up and take all these fragments out, instead of just go in there and zap him with a laser. So, yes, he would have played forever.
I can't imagine having knee problems and playing in the NFL or baseball.
Or the
Hey.
NBA.
Or the
Hey,
NBA.
I told you last week. I saw Rodney. Rodney was down here. Looks pretty good with the new pump.
Good.
Yep. He says he's got a Ferrari inside him now. What is it, 25-year-old guy or something that he ended up meeting the family and they became friends and the whole deal.
Boy, that window you lower does the job. I can't hear a game going on there.
Well, it was.
I think she's over now.
No, hell no. It's
I
not
just saw a
over.
final 5-4. The Twins won.
Really? So they we must have made the last 6 outs in a hurry then, because it was the top of the 8th when the show started. So
Yeah.
the Cardinals.
You're our on-site correspondent.
Yeah, but I gotta-
on-site.
But the big neighbor would have me dragged out of here by my feet if I was given a play-by-play here.
that's true.
They're
Were
And
they
if
on
you
the
did
radio
it-
today?
If you
I
did
don't
it, we'd
think
want
so.
you to do it in Cannon style. 16 pitches to 12.
That's right.
Ball down the right side.
The ball.
Bat hit the ball.
One of our guys is over there trying to catch it.
I'm surprised they even let you on the facility.
Right
actually.
here underneath the CCO microphones. By the way, they put netting up over the dugouts this year.
Yeah.
Down here, another new safety thing. Today, they saved a screaming line drive and a bat from going in there and getting somebody.
Really?
So
That's good.
it's probably not a bad decision.
You're missing out on experience, though. That's too bad.
Yeah.
Somebody-
Yeah.
My favorite
It's a
used to be
souvenir you could
My favorite
carry.
used to be Vero Beach, which the poor old timers there were about 7 feet behind home plate, and they'd hit these screaming liners, and then they'd drag 5 people a day out of that place.
Sports Talk will return shortly.
All right, just another traffic note here before we get back to the show. Southbound 35W running bonnet to boot from the downtown Commons down to the crosstown. I can't find anything to cause this big jam, but it's ugly and getting worse by the second. Planned for about 15 minutes from downtown to the crosstown. That's your traffic. Here's John Height's news.
We're sailing in
Thank you, Kenny. Very nicely done.
By the way, don't be so hard on yourself. You said before we get back to the show, we consider you and your traffic part of the show, Kenny.
Shut up, John. Not because I want to be here.
Which Kenny do we have today?
Well, considering he almost stabbed Rookie twice because they were talking about steak off
here's
the
what
air.
Dummy comes in. No, Dummy comes in and he starts talking about steak that he had for dinner. And, of course, what am I going to say? Hey, how did you prepare it? What did you? And he's like, no, I'm not telling you.
It's the first thing with Matthew is he's got to find out how you prepared it so he can tell you how we did it wrong and how we should be doing it his way.
Well, I would have had you told me how you made it. Yes.
Anyway, every time I eat steak, it takes 2 days before everything's back to normal.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm in the middle of that 48-hour period right now.
I'm
You know what he needs?
I'm happy to hear that.
A mannequin and a remote control car.
Exactly.
Pat and Kenny, you remember the story last week? The 2 Germans tangled up with the mannequin?
Yeah, what's the explanation?
Yes.
I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation.
Today, it's a guy in Brisbane, Australia, takes his clothes off, climbs into a pipe organ, drunk, surrounded by cheeseburgers and a toy remote car.
Yes.
What is the role of the car?
Again, what is the role of the remote cars? That's
Then
what we want to
Reavers
know.
looked it up. It turns out you can buy a toy remote car for this purpose, whatever the purpose is.
It's sexual in nature. If you
I got 2
follow
words
my
for
drift.
you.
No, I don't know
Vroom,
what
vroom.
it does. What do you do?
That's what I want to know. Do you wear it?
Do you have relations with the muffler, or what the hell do you do? I don't know.
Relations with the muffler.
Didn't we have a guy that claimed he had sex
Well,
with?
we've done the muffler.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I
Not
thought.
we. I mean, we.
Yeah. What?
What were you doing in Florida? over
I
the
don't
weekend?
mean we.
That's a weird angle. I don't know how you get down there and pull that one off.
Here's John Heidt to
Thanks,
save
Joe.
us.
Well,
You got to put a couple
wouldn't
of
go that
pillows
far.
underneath the back of the car, and then it would work well.
Well, yeah, you're a gentleman.
It's sunny.
Do you have to pet the fender? It says here.
43 degrees.
Oh, baby, your quarter panel's so hot.
NHL trade deadline passed this afternoon. The Wild did make one move. The Wild trading Mike Riley to the Montreal Canadiens for a 5th-round pick in the 2019 NHL draft. The 24-year-old, of course, is a hometown guy, played for the Gophers. Yeah, played for the Gophers, originally drafted by Columbus. He did sign a 2-year, $1.85 million contract with the Wild in July of 2015, signed another contract with the team July of 2017. He moves on to the Canadiens. The Wild get a 5th-round pick.
I'm rooting for the kid, but boy, was he awful yesterday against
I
the
guess
Sharks.
he gave up. He gave up a couple last night, and that was it, huh? That
yeah.
was the end of the. That's all she wrote.
It was pretty bad, too.
Twins playing the Cardinals this
What do you mean
afternoon.
he gave him? He's not a goalie.
Yeah, but the 2 goals that they scored
Was he
were
on
the
the
result
ice?
of him being out of position.
All right.
In a bad place to be traded to, though, huh?
No.
Les habitants.
Twins end up with a 5-4 win. Twins also announcing their broadcast schedule today. For the first time in franchise history, you'll be able to watch all 162 games somewhere on the television. Fox Sports North will carry most of the games, of course, 154 telecasts, while FS1 and ESPN will nationally broadcast 6 and 2 games, respectively.
I was doing my game day walk around the boardwalk here to see what the folks are saying, right?
How you doing in
Kind of
228? How you doing?
Kind of eavesdropping. And I heard a couple of Cardinal fans, the TV cameras were covered up, and they said, "This game isn't even on TV. Why isn't this damn game on TV?" Well, first of all, you're standing there watching the game, so what do you care? And B, it's an exhibition game in February. We are spoiled as a society. We think every sporting event should be on TV.
Although, Joe, last Friday we were talking about one of our favorite moments in the history of Garage Logic, in which you, when GL got moved to 1, you went through the entire Twins schedule to see which shows you were going to get off, and then we had to inform you that they had moved on to another station.
Imagine
And
my
I said,
surprise.
I said, there's no way the fat guy would have been moving to drive time if this didn't happen. You know? I would have been gone one way or the other.
By the way, how the hell did that ever happen anyway? What are you doing hosting a drive time show?
I don't know. I agree with you.
That's fantastic.
News notes
Flip her back. Listen, there's help for everyone. There's hope for everyone in society, Ken.
It's just so awesome. We're a bunch of pirates on this radio station, aren't we? We're just a bunch of dumbbells.
News notes from today.
Yeah, we do weather 2 and 3, not at 5 and 6.
Yeah, because screw you.
Preliminary year-end data released by the St. Paul Police Department today shows Part 1 crime in the city increased by 10% last year. Part 1 crime is murder, rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, motor vehicle theft, larceny, theft, and arson. Crimes against persons in St. Paul increased by 2.3%. Crimes against property increased by 10.9%. There was a 16.2% increase in thefts, including an 11.2% increase in auto thefts in St.
How are
Paul.
we spinning this positively here, Johnny?
There's been no comment yet from the city of St. Paul.
10:45 a.m. this morning.
Yep.
Yes.
Most streets in St. Paul not plowed. The double-wide bike path on Pelham right down to the pavement.
Do you notice all the pegs are missing now, though, on the bridge over the over 94?
What? Somebody just drove through.
Well,
and
it's
said,
that.
"No, then-"
It's that, and I think it's plow drivers going bleep this, and they just plow those things over, whatever
They
they're
don't want to
called.
weave in and out like a race course.
They really crowd up the street. I mean, they make a narrow street very narrow.
Okay, I received this report from Lavelle E. Neal III, and Lavelle told me that he was a Allery's guy, and he still stops there once in a while. They are now in St. Paul giving the bicyclists their own light on certain streets. Did you hear this?
I have not. That would not surprise me.
So you got the curb, and then you got the bicyclists, and when you get to the light, they get a green light while the cars still sit there. That's what he told me. They're
It's a hell
starting
of
to
a
do
city.
that.
Being run well.
City of Crystal.
Got a soccer stadium coming.
Yeah, that'll save it.
There it is. Troubles are over.
I love coming home from Florida, Joe, in February. He's great.
You know what else they got down there? Pat can attest to this. You might disappear into a sinkhole once in a while. I can't control that.
There's
They
no
don't have
denying
potholes.
that.
They don't have potholes.
No, they don't. No, and the car starts.
You might lose your home in a sinkhole.
That's fine.
but
They
they
take
don't
your
got
chances. Take your chances.
City of Crystal is thinking about taking on the responsibility of removing snow from all their public sidewalks. Crystal already cleaned some sidewalks if they're close to the street. City leaders say they have the equipment and that any additional labor costs would be paid by an existing snow removal fund.
That's a good idea.
Homeowners would still be responsible for their driveway and the walk to their front door, but nothing else. If the ordinance is approved, the city would take over sidewalk snow removal next winter. Thousands of people from all walks of life filed slowly past the casket of the Reverend Billy Graham today to pay their final respects. The heavy rain overnight tapered to a light, occasional drizzle around 8 this morning, and the doors opened to the boyhood home of the famed evangelist who died last Wednesday at the age of 99.
I was watching a little Billy docu on PBS last night, I think it was. I didn't realize he and MLK had been buddies.
Yeah. I've avoided this story for a while now, but I think I have to do it now.
Does it involve a remote car?
It does not. It involves a suspected drug dealer who's on a toilet strike. He says he'd rather die than go to the bathroom. He has spent 38... He swallowed some drugs, and he's now spent 38 days in police custody and hasn't.
Well, then he will
gone to the
die.
bathroom.
He will die.
He's 24-year-old Lamar Chambers, appearing in court last Friday. His lawyer Andrew Horsall said he finds himself in uncharted territory with Chambers. He said his client's life is at risk. He doesn't want to be resuscitated if he collapses. Officers think he swallowed some of the drugs before his arrest in Harlow, Essex.
Feed him some hot dogs. That'll move him.
Patiently waiting for him to finally go to the bathroom.
I saw this report online. It also adds that he is very, very, very crabby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like eating steak.
Rook, can you take us to a break?
I certainly will do that. Let me just find this. Sports Talk. We'll be back with more right after this.
I have a good place for vacation. You were just there, weren't you? Yeah. A craft beer hotel is set to open in Scotland next year.
Oh, boy.
With features that will include beer taps in every room.
There you go. You go. And
an in-suite beer fridge built right into the shower wall.
What do you have, sir? I'll take 4 for 400.
That's who reads.
Who reads? Your ma.
When independent craft brewery Brewdog opens the Doghouse Hotel in Aberdeenshire, Scotland in early 2019, a guest will never be far from a pint of suds.
I think the beer show should be on site for the debut of this hotel.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get the point. You have to travel all the way around the world to drink beer? You can do that at home.
It's a hotel,
Yeah,
Kenny,
but-
that has its taps right in the room.
So get a 6-pack and go to Holiday Inn. Same thing.
That's got a point.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, he does,
You're
actually.
absolutely right.
The hotel will feature 26 rooms, all of which will have their own taps. To create a truly immersive experience, rooms overlook the actual brewery. And pull back the curtain, you can watch the brewers do their work.
Here's one problem, though. I mean, most of the time, hotels, you're worried about your bed sheets being clean. Now you have to worry about the tap lines being clean.
That's true.
Guests
Well, the idea is not growing on me. I guess I'm fading.
Well, we have one. I had the guys on from Dogfish Head. They have a beer hotel over in. They're over on the East Coast
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah, you can get it.
Yeah.
I met the boys. I met the boys at a craft brewery house here the other day. It's, you know,
You had the hipster beards going?
didn't do much for me.
Well, you're not a beer drinker.
Well, I had a caliber, you know, fine caliber,
What's that mean?
non-alcoholic, non-alcoholic.
The news of the Scottish opening comes after the brewery announced plans to open a beer hotel here also in Columbus, Ohio at their brewery. The outpost here will have beer-themed meals, beer spa treatments, and hop face masks. That hotel expected to open in late
That's
2018.
just weird. That's weird. I'm sorry.
Right then. Couple of highway stories for you. Authorities say a naked man was arrested in Missouri
With a toy car.
Oh, even better.
after fleeing on an all-terrain vehicle naked.
Oh.
Driving the wrong way on the interstate. Police say the man is suspected of being under the influence of drugs during the Sunday afternoon chase in northern Kansas City. The chase began with a man eluding officers in a field. After finding a break in the fence, the man made his way into Interstate.
What the hell are you doing, Pat? Pat, what are you doing?
I was typing on my computer.
Oh, it sounds like you're pounding.
Hey, now.
We could hear every.
Put the remote from the toy car
I think
down.
the fact
It's a toy
that,
remote car.
I think the fact that I put the microphone down right next to the keyboard. might have something to
that's
do
what
with
it is.
That was probably it. yeah.
Exactly.
You're not wearing one of those headsets that have actually revolutionized the industry and you don't hear noise?
No, I like having the microphone.
There's something phallic and weird about that.
Yes, it is. That's what I like.
Actually, guys, I'm trying to get that toy remote car to type for me, but it's not listening.
The naked fella on the all-terrain vehicle drove onto the oncoming traffic on the interstate, captured after he exited the interstate. One witness told a local TV station she thought she was dreaming when she saw the spectacle unfold while returning from a basketball tournament with her two boys in the car. Meanwhile, in California, authorities say a drunken man rode his horse onto the freeway. Los Angeles news station KABC Television reported the California Highway Patrol stopped the man early Saturday on State Route 91 in Long Beach.
You
Was
got
it
that
Sam Elliott?
Yeah,
Was it
you got
Sam?
that whole cowboy thing going for you.
Some kind of Eastern thing.
I like your style, man.
Officers administered field sobriety tests, which registered blood alcohol levels of 0.21 and 0.19, more than double the legal limit. The man was arrested, booked for riding the horse while under the influence. The horse wasn't hurt, was released to the man's mother. The California Highway...
What do I want with my kid's horse? The hell?
The California Highway Patrol offered a message to the public on Twitter saying, no, you may not ride your horse on the freeway, and definitely not if you're intoxicated.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Speaking of great movies in which Jeff Bridges is in it, I was clicking the other night and ran across Hell or High Water. Man, that's a good movie. And I
Wish I would have
watched it
seen
again.
that. Is that on
Well,
Netflix?
it's on, I saw it on Stars is where I saw it. I think it was Stars.
What's the movie he was in with Clint Eastwood? The Preacher and Leadfoot or whatever.
Lightfoot.
Boy, that's a
Thunderbolt,
long time
Lightfoot.
ago.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Yeah, that's all right. That's not a bad
It
movie.
was the 70s, right?
Yeah, he's just a kid. He looks like he's 19.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Joe, what was the one he was in that you loved?
Cutter's
When they were out-
Way.
Cutter's Way, yeah. They were out rustling cattle. And
No.
Butchering them in the field. Butchering them in the field, right?
No, it had nothing to do with cattle. Nothing to do with cattle.
I like Royce's version better. It sounds more interesting.
Cutter's Way. It has to do with scissors.
And mosquitoes.
No.
In Spain.
Monday.
Cutter's a mosquito
Joe,
repellent.
You got 9 minutes left, Joe. 9 minutes.
Cutter's Way. Mary Steenburgen, John Hurd, Bridges.
Alrighty. All right, filmography. I'm looking at it. I'll get it here. I'll get it. Go ahead, John.
I like your style, dude.
I dig your style too, man. Got a whole cowboy thing going.
There's just one thing, dude.
What's that?
You have to use so many cuss words.
What are you talking about?
Okay, dude. Have it your way.
In
Rancho Deluxe is
Yes.
the one I was thinking
Yeah.
of. Rancho Deluxe.
That's a
is
fun
great.
movie.
That is great.
What kind of beer do they serve there?
in Barcelona, Spain,
Is that a sweet?
a thief used a sex toy to
Yeah.
smash a glass cabinet in a high-end
The
sex
toy
shop.
car.
Yeah, it must have been a car.
Well, he stole $49,000 worth of stock. No toy car, but that included two 24-karat gold vibrators.
Wow.
Burglar broke.
Well, there was such.
Is that a lot, Pat?
Burglar.
You seem to be surprised by that number.
Well, just what? Why would that improve the product? I don't get it. You know.
Aren't you
I don't know.
afraid of cutting?
7, you got over half a dozen. How many do you need?
Burglar broke into a place called the Love Stop.
Sure
went
he
straight
did.
for the glass display.
Yeah, you know where he was
I would have
going.
stopped off at the edible underwear for a while and just grabbed as many as I could.
You'd be passed out in the corner with one hanging out of your mouth.
Ate himself to death.
The video captured the thief trying to force the cabinet open, but unable to do so. He eventually grabbed the sex toy to get inside.
Which sex toy, John?
It didn't say, Kenny.
Oh.
I didn't get this comment from the police, though.
One of
How
those
many are there
double
anyway?
enders? One of those big ones?
Not sure. Kenny.
Pat, there's
It's
something
only
going on out
Monday.
there.
It's only Monday, Johnny. I don't think we're going to make her. I think the FCC we'll be hearing from them.
The police made this weird statement about those 24-karat gold items he stole. They said he forgot to take the chargers, so he may have ended up with nothing of value. Wouldn't the 24-karat make it
Yes,
worth value?
that would make it.
Those are the ones that comes actually with a chair and a steering wheel, right?
They come in the shape of a carrot?
I have no idea. I just don't even want to know
kind of.
24 carats.
anymore. This is
One.
That's
It sounds painful.
Joe, we're 204.
We didn't even mention that the Olympics have at long last concluded.
Boy, it was a big finish for the Minnesota athletes, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Schuster captured the gold and all kinds
Diggins,
of good stuff. Diggins, big upset, her and her partner. Mm-hmm. First ever cross country gold for the U.S. Women, and I think the only one in men was Billy Koch way back when. So.
What do you got coming up?
Oh, man, we're action-packed. We have all kinds of good stuff, including the Augsburg basketball coach, Aaron Grice, whose team upset St. John's and Bethel and is going to the NCAA tournament. Dan Myers to talk about the Wild. And at long last, Carly Wagner from the Gopher women's basketball team. She'll be with us, too. So we got
Boy, they held up their end of the bargain, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Unlike the males.
Like the boys who 4-14.
They still play in the Big Ten tournament.
Yes,
don't
they got to play hated Rutgers, which certainly will jam-pack the Madison Square Garden with their rabid fans on Wednesday. I bet they have at least 1,500.
1,500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis.